I unlocked the front door of 1436 Oakwood Street at exactly 4:07 a.m. My key turning smoothly in the lock I had installed myself just 6 months prior. The house was supposed to be empty, its owners on vacation in Europe for the next 2 weeks. But the phone call I received from a panicked voice at 3:45 a.m. claimed otherwise. As I stepped inside, the creaking of the old wooden floorboards beneath my feet seemed to echo through the deserted hallway, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that I was being watched. I fumbled for the light switch, and the sudden burst of illumination made me squint, but it also revealed that everything was just as I had left it. The same faded wallpaper, the same dusty chandelier, the same faint scent of last night's dinner lingering in the air. But then I saw it. A small piece of paper on the coffee table with my name scribbled on it in hasty handwriting, along with a single sentence: "Change all the locks now." I felt a shiver run down my spine as I realized that whoever was inside the house must have been watching me, waiting for me to arrive. I quickly got to work, replacing the old locks with new ones, my hands moving swiftly and precisely as I tried to shake off the creeping sense of unease. It wasn't until I was working on the back door that I noticed something odd. The screws on the hinge were slightly loose, as if someone had recently tried to remove the door. I tightened them, trying to tell myself it was just my imagination playing tricks on me, but the seed of doubt had already been planted. As I finished up and prepared to leave, I caught a whiff of something strange, a pungent smell, like burnt plastic, that seemed to be coming from the kitchen. I followed the scent to the sink, where I found a small, melted shape that looked like a phone. Its screen cracked and blackened. Suddenly, the pieces clicked into place. The panicked phone call, the scribbled note, the loose screws on the hinge. It all added up to one terrifying conclusion. Whoever was inside the house hadn't been trying to get out, but to keep something in. I felt a wave of dread wash over me as I realized that I had just made it much harder for whatever was inside to escape. And then, just as I was about to leave, I heard it, a faint scratching sound, like fingernails on wood, coming from the walls. It started softly, but grew louder and more insistent, until I could feel the vibrations of it beneath my feet. I knew then that I had to get out, and fast, but as I turned to make my way back to the front door, I saw that it was no longer there. In its place was a solid wall, with no sign of a door or a window, just a smooth expanse of drywall that seemed to stretch on forever. I was trapped, locked inside with whatever was making that scratching sound, and I knew that I would never be able to escape. The last thing I remember is the sound of my own screams, drowned out by the scratching, which grew louder and louder until it was the only thing I could hear. And then silence. But the scratching never stopped, it just changed, became a soft, steady hum, like the quiet buzzing of a fly, and I realized that I was not alone, that something was still in there with me, waiting. Waiting for what, I don't know, but I know it's not over, not yet, and I can still hear it, even now, the sound of my own heart pounding in my ears, and the scratching, always the scratching, a reminder that I am not alone, and that I never will be again.